guys, welcome back. So today I got a cool song for you. This is a great song, probably one of the better country songs that's been written in the last 30 years or so. And I heard this a lot growing up. One of the first country songs that kind of made me emotional when I heard it, you know, when I was really young. But I wanted to do this song in kind of a Hendrix R&B style way and be able to accumulate all the information that I've been showing you in the last few lessons about the thirds and the sixth intervals, the triads, the double stops, and doing that Hendrix style thing, and just be able to give you a real-time example in a song of how you can apply those types of things. And so what we're going to do with this, we're going to start out, it's really just going to be 5 chords. The whole song is just G major, B minor 7, C major, A minor 7, and D major. Okay, we're just going to embellish those in that kind of Hendrix R&B style and try to get some of the vocal melody out of that at the same time. Alright, so we're going to start out with this little pickup intro that's going to lead us into the first verse with the vocal melody, alright? So we start out. Alright, this is the first part we're going to go over right here. So we slide in. I like to use my thumb on the low E the whole time. Just makes it easier to transition between everything so you're not having to move your wrist around with your index finger. So I have 3 on the low E, slide in 5 to 7 on the low E, I like to use my ring finger, and then bar A and D on 5, pop it with your middle finger and index finger, and then slide in with your thumb from 1 to 3 on the low E. Okay, that'll set us up for the first vocal melody part. Alright, and then from here, we're going to play your Hendrix style G chord, have your thumb on 3 on the low E, mute out the A string, D on 5, G on 4, 3 on B, and I'm going to have my thumb on the low E, my index finger on D, my middle finger on G, and my ring finger on B. I'll use that throughout the entire song there. So we're going to be playing the same thing where we go between this G and then adding in the C, right? So we're just kind of turning this into like a G add 4 chord, and this is going to help get us our vocal melody that we need, okay? So after you slide in the 3 on the low E, hit that G major once, and then we're going to put our pinky down on 5 on G and hit that twice, and that'll be your Johnny's Daddy, and then go back to your G major, the regular one, okay? I like to give a couple muted hits. I just think it sounds good. I'm just trying to keep the flow going and fill in the space there. So we have... Okay, then we're going to slide back into this chord from F, basically. And then taking and fishing. So after you slide into that G, just hit it once. Then put your pinky down, 5 on G, hit that twice. And the third time, give it some vibrato, just kind of gives it that singing quality, more like a voice, right? And then go back to your regular G, alright? Then we're going to do this lick again, sliding in from 5 to 7 on E. This time we're just going to start from 5 and slide in 5 to 7. Get A and D on 5. And then slide your thumb back into 3rd fret on the low E, okay? And then he was 8 years old. Okay, so you have your regular G. Then put your pinky down, 5 on G, hit that twice. And then slide back in. Give it some vibrato on that regular G major, okay? So far we have... Then we're going to do your basic kind of Hendrix style lick. Okay, one of the more stock Hendrix licks. We're going to bar B and E on 3, hammer on to 5 on B, then hit B and E by itself, then have G on 2, and then have B on 3. Hit those together, hammer on and pull off 4 on the G string, and get your pinky on 5 on the D. Alright, so we have... And then we're going to slide back into the low E and then we'll get into the part where he says, little girl came through the front gate. Okay, so slide into 3 on the low E. Okay, so this time hit the G major chord once, and then hit 5 on G twice. Kind of give it some vibrato. And then hit G by itself, and this time we're going to hammer on to that 5 on G. Then go back to your regular G major after you hammer on to 5 on G. Then we're basically going to play, you could look at this as like an A minor triad. 5 with your thumb on the low E, mute out the A string, D on 7, hit G and B on 5. And walk that back down to your regular G major. Okay, so you have and then we're going to do this lick again, sliding in 5 to 7 on E, hit A and D on 5, slide back into 3 on the low E, hold in a fish and pull. Okay, so hit your G again, and then hit your 5 on G with that chord. Hit that 3 times. Hit your G again, and then slide back into it and give it some vibrato, okay? So that'll be our whole intro we have. So the trickiest part of that is just getting the timing, you know. Okay, then we get into the pre-chorus part, and he says his dad looked down and smiled, said we can't leave her behind. We're going to do the same G major lick again, slide in 5 or 3 to 5 on E, or hit 3 on E, and then slide in 5 to 7 on E, and then hit A and D bar on 5. That'll lead us into our B minor 7 chord. Okay, so we're going to have thumb on 7 on the low E, mute out the A string, get D, G, and B on 7, and we'll hit that like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. You can just kind of feel it out however you want to sing the vocal melody with the guitar part there. Okay, and then from here we're going to hammer on. This is basically going to be a C add 9 chord. It's the same chord as this right here. We're going to have thumb on 8 on the low E, mute out the A string, hit the open D, then you're going to have G on 7, 8 on the B string, and hammer on, hit all those together. So you're hitting your E, your open D, 7 on G, 8 on B, hit all those at the same time and hammer on to 9 on G. And then just take your finger off a 9 on G and hit all those strings again. And then we're just going to slide into your first inversion of a C major chord. Hit 7 on A, or D, G, and B on 5. Then we're going to do our little pickup lick again. Back to your B minor 7. It says we can't leave her behind, okay? This time when I play the B minor 7, I'm going to hit it once and then hit it 2 more times. Then I'm going to pull off 9 to 7 on D while still hitting the low E, the G, and the B string with it. Pull off 9 to 7 and then hit 9 on D again with it. Then we're going to go up to C major, 8 on the low E, 10 on D, 9 on G, 8 on B. Just give it some vibrato. Okay, then we're going to do a little G major lick of some 6. Just slide in G and E on 5 to 7, back to 5. Then get 4 on G and 3 on E. Slide those off. Okay, so we have this is going to be the part of Son, I know you don't want her to go, but someday you'll change your mind. We're going to do A minor 7. I'm going to hit 5 on the low E, mute out the A string, bar D, G, B on 5. And I'm going to hit 7 on D, and then hit a couple times and then pull off the 5. And then we'll get 7 on the A string. And then after you hit 7 on A, take that same shape up to your B minor 7, hammer on from 7 to 9 on D, then hit the strings D, G, and B by itself, and then get 9 on A, then hit the full B minor 7 with the low E in it, and hammer on to 9 on D, back to your B minor 7, okay? So you have but someday you'll change your mind. I'm just going to walk up from C major. We have 8 on the low E, 10 on D, 9 on G, 8 on B. Hit that 3 times. Then I'm going to make this C6 shape, and we're going to slide this in to your D6. I'm just going to have 10 on D, 9 on G, 10 on B. Slide up to 12, 11, 12, D, G, and B. Just slide up. Alright, and then we're going to go back from C up to D major. Okay, 10 on the low E, 12 on D, 11 G, 10 on B. Alright, so we have okay, then we're going to walk down. Johnny says. So we hit this low E on the 10th fret, hit that D note by itself. Then we're going to walk down hammering on these thirds, just like Hendrix does in The Wind Cries Mary. We're going to bar D and G on 5, hammer on to 7 on D. Take the same shape down 2 frets, bar D and G on 5, hammer on to 7 on D. Then you have 4 on D and G, hammer on to 5 on D. Alright. Just kind of slide off of that D on 5. Alright, so then we get into the chorus part. It's basically going to be the same thing we did in the verse. We're just going to be phrasing it differently until we get to the ending of the chorus. So we have slide into that 3 on the low E. So you have that, what if you take Tommy Thompson, whatever he says. Just hit that G once, and then hit your 5th fret on the G string twice. Give it some smacks after that G. Then slide back into it. Take Tommy Thompson. Give it some vibrato. And do your little G major lick. Take My Best Friend Bo. And do that G major lick again. And take anybody that you want as long as she don't go. Alright, so it's the same notes we've already played, it's just about phrasing it, right? So you have hit G major once, hit it 3 times with your pinky and G on 5, and then give it some vibrato the 3rd time. And then hit G by itself, and then hammer on to that 5 on G. And back to your regular G, to your A minor, back to G, okay? And then long as she don't go, we just do that little pickup lick. Okay, and then just slide back into it. Alright, so your whole chorus you have, where are we? Okay, so then we get into the last part of the chorus. This is really the coolest part in my opinion. So we're gonna walk up after we do that long as she don't go. That Take Any Boy in the World. We're gonna hit 3 3 on the low E, slide in 5 to 7 on E, get A and D barred on 5, and then slide back from 7 to 5 on E, and get 3 on the low E. Then walk up your thumb from 3 to 4. When you get to 5, hit the D, G, and B string on 5 with it for that A minor 7. Okay, and then we're going to use our C major triad in 3 places against it to get a major 7 sound. Okay, so we're going to have just trying to mimic what I heard on the record. He does it 4 times, but since I'm playing this one, that kind of acts as the first one, and then we're going to go. So I'm going to hit the open A string, and I'm going to play 9 on the G string and bar B and E on 8. Slide into these, doesn't matter where you slide in from. Then we're going to do our next C major triad, 5 on G and B, 3 on E. Hit the open A string with it, slide into it. Okay, and then we hit the open A string again and slide into D, G, and B on 5. Get that other C major triad. Okay, so we have. Okay, then the Daddy Please. I'm just going to slide back. Sometimes I'll hit the D on 9, G on 7. Just slide back from 9 to 7 and pull off to 5 on D. And then pull off from 7 to 5 on the A string. Okay. We're going to go up to this B minor 7, 7 on E, or D, G, and B on 7, hammer on from 7 to 9 on D, and then hit B minor 7 again by itself. Then we're going to walk down to A minor 7, 5 on E, 5 on D, G, and B, and then hit your open D, and then 2 on G, 3 on B. Alright, so we have. And then the last part, Don't Take the Girl, we're going to use these 6th on the A and G string. Alright, so we're going to slide into 7 on A, 5 on G, and then have 5 on A and 4 on G. Then have 3 on A and 2 on G. And then we're just going to hit the D, G, and B open strings. Gives us our G major triad open, okay? So you have. Okay, then just hit your thumb on that low E, and you can just finish the. You can finish it like that. It just keeps repeating. You can finish it. You can play it even like a Jimmy style. If you want to do that kind of Castles Made of Sand, you can pull off and do that sort of thing. Right, but that's the whole song, okay? So it's really just 5 chords. We're just playing all these embellishments and getting the vocal melody out of them. Alright, so we'll go over all the parts really slow from beginning to end. Start out at the beginning. That's everything. It helps if your nails are even. I busted my index fingernail, but sometimes you'll get one or two strings that sound brighter if your nails aren't as even. That's the whole thing, right? So it's a good way to incorporate all the thirds and sixth intervals, your triads, add in some pentatonic licks in between, and just be able to create chords and make 5 pretty basic chords sound like more than they are. And that's everything. It's a great song. It's a great way to practice. And that's it. Just practice slow, have fun. See you next time.